HRSMN, no vowels. Kurupt paid me he was like, bro, if I was walking down the street and I saw that, I'd stop and look at it. I still got the classic rock logo font, and I'd be like, who is these niggas riding on the moon and blew up Earth? That shit's interesting. So it's art in and of itself. Before you hear this music, I think the art is engaging as fuck.
What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access Entertainment. As always, please hit that subscribe button. As you'll know, it's right down there, and it's free. That enables us to keep coming to you guys as often as possible with as many interviews as possible, with as many icons of the game as possible. So please hit that subscribe button. Hit us on Cash App if you feel like it. Like our content, share it, talk about it, be about it. Each one, teach one. We appreciate you guys' support. Now, today, we have the honor and the privilege of being joined for cover story by the Horsemen. They're here to talk about the Last Ride album cover. Kurupt, Killah Priest, Ras Kass, thank you for coming through.
What up?
Boom. And Kurupt.
Yeah.
Kurupt even has the shirt. Kurupt, show him the shirt. Tell him what's up.
Oh, yeah, baby. We all ready and ready for the game. The Last Ride shirt. We also got some Whoop Wops, the vintage Bam.
Woo! That shit hard.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
man.
See, that light might be up. There he is. Look
Who
how
those
young
kids?
he was. Look
Who
how
those
young
kids?
he was, God.
Who those
That's how long
kids?
we've been pushing this Horseman line, man. So you know it feels
Well,
good.
we was just ponies then.
Back in them days, I was the same size as my son. Priest was dad's size.
Hey, but I have a that brings a good question. Have y'all ever actually, any of the three of y'all or Canibus, if to your knowledge, have any of y'all ever ridden a horse? Raz, when and how and why did you ride a horse, Raz?
Couple of times. Family. My family from Louisiana, so we had horses.
Okay.
Plus,
I
Raz
rode a few times.
Raz be wearing cowboy boots.
I don't. When I was a kid, I did have cowboy boots.
I know you had cowboy boots on. I know.
I thought
I rode a horse. I rode a horse before it wasn't fun. So wouldn't listen to me, cuz. Everything I told the nigga to do, he did the opposite. They said, click him and make a move. Pull him, and he's supposed to stop. I pull him and he go, cuz. Right. I rode him a couple of times. Once at the restaurant.
I rode a horse. Her name was Yolanda.
Ooh,
wow.
man, see, that's that thoroughbred.
Right.
Giddy up. Giddy up.
So as far as the Last Ride cover, though, the Last Ride cover.
I'm just kidding. Huh?
How did you guys decide to visualize and present yourself that way on horses with the different color schemes?
I didn't like the cover. I'm just kidding. Go ahead, tell him, Raz. Tell him.
I want Priest to put them glasses on. I told you he was a different one.
Right. See, now he's turning into death, man. He's trying to kill everything.
You wanted it, Soren. You got it.
You got it. Honestly, I want to shout out Glitch, our homeboy Gifted Glitch.
Shout out to Glitch.
And honestly, we've been having this plan for about at least 15 years about, four horsemen is biblical. It's from Revelations. And so even in the rhyme schemes, the whole point was to take and be those characters. I understand there's a Ras Kass and a Kurupt and a Killah Priest and a Canibus, but we had to become those characters, be death, be pestilence, be famine, be war. And so what we were thinking is more of making this art on art. Production is an art, lyricism is an art, but to be conceptual as a group is a different art, and to make that art. And that art was to be those characters. So they are they look like us, but Priest is really death. So that was the vision, to be those horsemen of the apocalypse, those four horsemen: death, war, famine. And you see that. You see the pestilence. And then he's also the headless horseman. So then we implemented that. So he, Kurupt is taking his head off and putting his head back on and killing motherfuckers. Yeah. So that was the idea, to make it, inspired by the Gorillas. I love what they did. I felt like we were inspired by that vision, to not just be some more dudes rapping and tapping, but to become these characters and make that where we could be anime. You could go put that shit on Netflix show like Castlevania, and we on some other shit.
Right.
So with you, Kurupt, how did you feel that your persona was portrayed on the cover?
I couldn't have done it better. It hit the nail on the head with me. The headless, and how he threw our logos in there, you know what I'm saying? Like me and Priest, where we from, got the Woo logo on the horse. You got the DP logo on the horse, Raz's, Cannies, and then, my character, he got the blue rag on. I ain't told him to do that. He just loved it.
Oh, that was hard.
Yeah, that was hard, cuz. And then with Def, you see those two sickles he got? Long distance head chopping niggas. Like the faces, man. We got another visual finna come out. And it's really, he's so
Johnny Arcade, our other, it's built as these characters were created by Glitch, and now we have other people that's gonna help you, just like Marvel, the comic books become the movies. That's what we're trying to do, is move it into even more bigger.
We're bringing it to life. One thing I talked to Raz and I talked to Priest about, and they communicated with Canny, but what we saying on there, it can't be described in human form. We can't do regular visuals, regular album cover. What we're saying on there is beyond. So we got to have the visuals be beyond. We have to have our videos be beyond. We're telling a story here, a story that can't be told visually in human form. So that's the whole key to the game.
Yeah, we wouldn't need some motherfucking Disney money to shoot the videos with the lyrics we're talking about.
You'll get it.
So they had to be animated. We couldn't tell it just regular me doing this shit. It wouldn't come
I hope the people like it, you know what I'm saying? Because it's very entertaining, and that's the whole key.
And I think too, the fact that it's a cartoon illustration, what have you, as opposed to the pictures of you guys, because we've seen all the way back from Schoolie D when he would draw his album covers or his
right, Just Ice,
right,
album cover. It was art. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, with the pistol, that motherfucking double barrel. You know what I'm saying? All of that good shit right there, man. That's where we at. And I feel me, Priest, Canibus, and Raz is on. We're seasoned, man. We paid our dues in this game. We legends of our own right, and it's time to go to a different place. We've already done everything else. What haven't we done? And that's what Glitch and K brought to the table. You know what I'm saying? Complimenting these words we have to say, because just like Morticians, when Killah Priest came in, how can you put that in human form?
Like, man, it's hard. That's one of the hardest joints. That's one of the hardest joints on there.
And like when Priest did False Prophet, which last night was a success, I might add. No drums, no nothing. They just listened. That music behind him, like, cause that can't be caught in film with the human form. So that the visuals have to complement the actual music and words. So, it all panned out great, because I love it. I love the artwork by itself.
Well, that too, I thought was interesting for what you're saying, Kurupt, because on the cover, it looks like Earth is in the background. Y'all aren't even on Earth. So,
yeah.
All this crazy stuff.
Smoking moon rocks on the moon. Oh, yeah. Message.
Yes. So did you guys have any input on the Earth being in the background, or is that something you guys just saw and liked? Raz?
Razzle dazzle.
Break it down, Raz. What happened?
Oh no, shit. If we are, and this is not to be sacrilegious, but if this is biblical and we doing God's work, nigga, we didn't come from Earth. We came from somewhere else. So we came to fuck that off. We was riding back on the moon, going back to wherever we gotta go. So that was my vision from the beginning, and Glitch did it to a T. I was like, I want us galloping riding out, and you see, and I'm not gonna lie, we still kept some parts, like we didn't want to fuck up like New York, but we fucked up the South, and then we fucked up Europe.
I didn't even catch that part.
Hello, I did it on purpose, my nigga, on everything. Yeah.
I didn't even catch that.
We know Raz's shows
Favorite
in Louisiana and Mississippi.
We dumped that all out.
It's like people
out too.
As people.
If you look at the destruction,
see, when we blew it up, we wasn't hitting the community of we was aiming for the people that used to. We on your asses,
the lynchers.
God said.
The Horsemen usually come around the time, and this is a perfect time for the Horsemen because with all this COVID shit, pandemic, it's time for the Horsemen to ride out. And that's why we coming to ride through this motherfucker. We coming to ride through the streets. We coming to ride through this whole motherfucking hip hop industry. And it's like, it's perfect timing because when you're gonna have a group like this, and we've been anticipated so long, so now it all waited for this time, and this is the perfect time for the Horsemen.
That's right.
Absolutely. And I think too, as we refer back to these old album covers from the Schoolie D, the Just Ices, even Too Short, Snoop Dogg, different people that had the illustrations, I think it's also important that you guys are putting the emphasis on lyrics, but also like the art, the whole concept. It's a whole package. It's not just the music. So why for you guys in 2021 is that still important for you?
Oh, well, who want to take this? I think it's, yeah, exactly. That's why I put out my cigar. I think we it's very important to stick to the format, and no one was really doing that like that, holding on to the tradition. And then when you hear this album, and a lot of people wanted to hear me, Ras Kass, and Biss just spitters on the same joint. So I think it's very imperative that we stick to the formula and the art, and that's how it sounds. When you get the album, when you hear the album, have you heard it yet?
I have several times.
What you think?
It's great.
So you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
We're gonna get to that.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. So everything, still sword shopping sword. And that's what happens when you ride with the horses, because we're all weapons of mass, we're weapons of mass production.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
Weapons of mass production. That's it. Yeah. I just wanted to add on to what Pre said is I wanted, in my vein, for this album, being fans of these brothers, period. I thought since we started the idea of group, other groups have formed, super groups. But a lot of times niggas just rapping is a lot. No, I'm not taking from. I'm just saying what I wanted to hear from the Horsemen was conceptual. So we have conceptual songs. Not everything is niggas trying to out rap each other on every beat. We made songs, and that was very important. I'm a big fan of Dr. Dre's production of Snoop, of Biggie. They had conceptual albums where you go on a journey, and Nas, like, and then our solo albums, like you hear like a Kurupt album and you go on a journey. You know what I'm saying? I hear freestyle and exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like Heavy Mental, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? Like why? What made him even write that shit? That shit's crazy. And I was mad. There's some things that I hear that there's some things I hear that I'm like, why didn't I think of that? And there's some things I'm like, that's God's gift. I could never write that. So these brothers have those things in Canibus too. What we want to do is make something that special. And in the visual of it, I was channeling also when I was young, my neighbor, Bobby Jacobus. He was a white kid and he had all the fucking heavy metal albums. He used to be biting heads off bats and all scary shit. But I remember them covers. They were iconic, the whatever, Megadeth or whatever. And that's what I wanted to channel too. And Kurupt paid me he was like, bro, if I was walking down the street and I saw that, I'd stop and look at it. Right. Still got the classic rock logo font. And I'd be like, who is these niggas riding on the moon and blew up Earth? That shit's interesting. So it's art in and of itself. Before you hear this music, I think the art is engaging as fuck.
Well, that's why, Raz, I was excited when we did the cover story for Soul on Ice, which I think is a brilliant cover as well, your album.
Right.
Your debut album, and you showed me this cover back then. I was like, whoa, we got to do a cover story on this, which is why I'm glad y'all showed up for this. So now, since this is a piece of art, even separate of the music, what do you think, looking 5-10 years down the line is going to be the legacy of the cover for The Last Ride?
It's going to be a collector's item. Some album artwork are just collector items in themselves. Like he was saying, this is all rock and roll. And rock and roll ain't nothing but, blues. So, you know what I'm saying? When you look at their covers meant they was just as important as the actual album itself and the records. You look at Ohio Players, you know what I'm saying? And just that honey and that broad.
Yeah.
That lady, it was self-explanatory. You bought their album not just for the music, but for that actual artwork. And people have them as collector's items. Some people get the record and don't even play it. They buy two, one that they're gonna put up forever and one that they play and fuck up. So you know what I'm saying? So that's what we wanted our artwork to be, a timepiece, that it's timeless. Snoop Dogg's album cover, Dogg's album is timeless. That album cover Joe Cool made, you know what I'm saying? And, that's just the key to the game. You know what I mean? And I think Horsemen does that. We X-Men'd out. Okay, I'm Magneto.
Right.
Right. I'm Magneto and Neo in one. I am the one. Not the two when I'm talking to you. Get it? Hello.
Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
man, it's excellent. I love each character because each character itself has its own story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you look at War, there's a story behind War. And one of our visuals is going to show that too. We was talking to Arcade today. Okay. Right. And he was just like, he's going to tell the tale of each individual. Famine and pestilence, death and war. And they all have a separate story. And I liked it that, this can go on for the rest of our lives and telling these tales and different whoop wops like the Justice League and like Avengers. They was all separate whoop wops and then they come together for this ultimate wham. So, that's what this is. And we're going to keep giving them these stories, for a mighty long time. Right.
So there it is, y'all. As Kurupt says break, we will break for cover story here on Unique Access Entertainment. Horseman, thank you for coming through.
Thank you.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
A 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
There will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Your MTV back with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.